Hello, my friends. So I wanted to talk about something that has really come to the forefront of my mind. It's something that has been dwelling in my head for a very long time, and I just never really expressed it. And lately I've really been getting the courage to just speak out on it because I feel it's a very important topic, and I think it's a topic that no one really wants to address or talk about. So stick around. So I'm going to get to what I want to talk about in a minute. But first of all, I want to talk about justifications for our actions and justification for our viewpoints and justification for doing the things that we do. No one, at least in my opinion, believes that they are inherently wrong or inherently evil or doing something wrong. They justify it for whatever purpose. We can see this in propaganda going back to World War II, where there was justification done for treating Jewish people as lesser people. And we can see this done throughout history, where there is a justification where we treat a certain group differently and lesser, even making them out like monsters in a lot of the propaganda that was pushed during World War II, which eventually, as we all know, led up to the extermination, or at least the attempted extermination of the Jewish race. So one of the things that first has to happen, and I'm not saying that there's going to be any kind of mass genocide or anything like that coming up on the horizon for any group, but I am just making this type of behavior apparent, or at least more apparent than it should be, because people are doing this and they're not realizing it. But I want to talk about bias, discrimination, racism, and sexism. Now, all of us believe that we are good people. We believe that our actions are just, and we don't think that we are doing anything wrong. We don't think that we're biased. We don't think we're being discriminatory. We don't think that we're racist or sexist in any way. And that's how we should be. That means that our moral compass is headed towards something better than what we may perceive as going on around us. So there are bias and discrimination based upon a belief or an ideology. Now, beliefs and ideologies can essentially change, meaning that people who don't believe that vaccines should be mandatory. So what that means is that diseases which once were wiped out can resurface again and spread among people just because a few people believe that the vaccines cause deficiencies, which is not true. But these people have this ideology and this belief. So we could discriminate and be biased towards those people because they have a different ideology and a different belief from what is the common good. The same thing about viewpoints on races and sexes. We can be biased and discriminatory against those people who have a different ideology or belief about a particular group of humans. Now, when it comes down to bias, discrimination against a particular race and a particular sex, there is no way for anyone to change their race or their sex, at least without going through some kind of a medical procedure in the case of sex, but that falls kind of in gender identity, sexual identity. Don't really want to get into that here because I'm just kind of giving a broad definition here. So we can understand that those things can't be changed as easily as ideologies or beliefs, meaning somebody who is an anti-vaxxer can change their belief and change their ideas to the norm, or possibly gain more information, change their idea, change their belief. So when it comes to those things that cannot be changed, like race and sex, or at least not easily changed, we would not allow any kind of bias or discrimination or racism or sexism to exist without speaking up and saying, that's not right, don't do that. However, when it comes to white males, we seem to just kind of turn the other way and laugh at it because Well, we're allowed to, and most people just do it. It is the same thing that happened for propaganda against any other race or any other sex. It's allowed to perpetuate, and people justify their reasons for putting down this race and this sex. And I'm here to tell you that's not right. It has to stop, because it is not right to do that to any race or to any sex. If you are biased or discriminatory against any sex, that is wrong. If you are racist, biased, and discriminatory against any race, I don't care what race it is, that is wrong. So when you see people making jokes or doing little memes or little attacks, spreading propaganda about any race or any sex, I encourage you to speak up and say something about it, because it's not right and it needs to stop. Thank you, and blessed be.